Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you from the cigar cave in the hills of Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast.
The cigar show for the community, by the community.
A forum that talks stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle.
If you're looking for ratings, negativity, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place.
Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us
At the Cigar Junkies Facebook group.
or contacting us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com. What's up, junkies? Man, I missed you when it come to that shit because don't nobody else know how to do it.
Yeah, we do. We got that locked in. Like, that's the one thing we're consistent about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I guess we can get out of the Chichingo King. So last week with the two of them, I'm like trying to mime to them because I didn't say anything before the show because I didn't think about the fact that, they don't know to do this. They should, because they should be doing it along with us, right? Like, if you guys aren't doing it along with us at home, why are you even here?
Yeah, there's no fun.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, if you watch the intro to last week's show, you can see me trying to fucking Coco the monkey fucking sign language with those guys, and it didn't hit the same way. It doesn't satisfy.
Wasn't great, huh?
Not quite. Before we go, I do want to say Colby says on here in the live chat that she's going to miss the Friday lives until late October. She's going to be in rehearsal for the Who's Tommy.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Is that I don't know what that is.
Oh,
you know what a Who's Tommy is? Okay.
That was the Who's rock opera.
Oh, nifty.
It was their, pinball wizard.
Well, if we keep up on this pace, you're not going to have to worry about it because it's Wednesday, kids.
Yeah. So, well, that makes me think. All right, Colby, just, not typecasting here or anything, but are you playing Elton John? Please tell me you're playing Elton John. It would just be too fun.
I believe Evan has that role.
Elton John's in the movie.
Yeah, but if he is, I'm sure that Evan's got it locked down.
He's got it.
At least if it's in Finleyville.
Yeah.
So, how was your couple weeks? How was your couple weeks there, Rona Sam?
There was some not great parts.
Yeah.
Getting the Rona was horrible. It wasn't.
How many times is that for you now?
I honestly don't even know.
You going for a record?
It's got to be close to 6, I think.
That's a lot of Rona.
Yeah, it's not great. I got through the whole Rona escapade and all the bullshit involved with that, and then kids started school. So
that happens.
3 of them going to kindergarten at the same time. Wife did better than I anticipated. She only slightly freaked out. It's fun because even like this morning we put them on the bus and she just like stood at the end of the driveway and just like watched the bus. I'm like, sweetie, you can't even see them. Like just let it go. Like it is what it is at this point. I know. I have to. Like, yep. So
you think she can't see them, but she can.
She knows.
She's mom.
Yeah,
she knows what's up.
Very, very
She's
true.
like, if that little fat kid messes with my fucking babies.
I don't know,
Not
man.
that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, there's 3 of them though. So
that's true. That's true.
You got to step it up if you're going to try and bother those kids.
Yeah. What's the line from the Social Network? I'm 6'2", 180, and there's 2 of me, or something like that.
I never saw it.
No. Oh, it's the twins that got ripped off for the idea. I'm gonna try adjusting this so I can sit a little more comfortably.
Get yourself in a comfy position.
I'm gonna go for that Beyond the Humidor lounge back. Yeah, man. Let's just do the show from back here.
There he is. That just
We could do that, but if we set up like they did, we would knock down the mic stands 100%.
Constantly.
They're not even a question about it. I can't even trust you with the mic stands we have, let alone a drink.
I just keep focusing on the Mountain Dew can that's right here because I'm like terrified that I'm going to bump it because I'll get my phone. Whack.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
So you're moving it. That's for you, bud.
I don't want to have to run upstairs and grab another one mid-show.
Yeah,
and I certainly don't want to be dumping Mountain Dew out of my shoes later either.
Yeah,
so
that wouldn't be great. Let's see. So since kids went to school, extra time working at the shop, I went through and cleaned up the pile of mess that I had, from previous times working. I got pretty much everything out that I can do by myself now. So I'll need a helper one day, which I know you have volunteered, but I was not in a position where I was ready for it. But we got to take all that duct work that's existing, has to come out, and I need somebody else to hand it over to because it's big sections and it's above the drop ceiling that's staying. So
I'm always here for you, but you might want to take applications from some taller folks.
That's what the scaffold's for, bud.
All right.
We have elevation enhancement devices.
Ooh.
So
where's that been all my life? Oh, you said elevation. I thought you said elongation. Sorry.
But yeah, and then I'm happy I actually got some videos going back up again. I haven't really done any progress videos for the shop.
That.
Yeah. There was nothing to
the
show.
same to me as the last time.
And that's it. Like, that's what I was talking to her. I'm like, I keep doing these videos, and if you watch like video 1, 2, and 3, it doesn't look like anything changed.
Well, the idea is not, I don't think, so much a time lapse as hey, don't forget about me. I'm going to open a cigar store sometime in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, we kept posts going out. We still had engagement, but I feel like the videos do much better than everything else. So we're going to try and step those up because I'm at the shop 5 days a week now. So, because the kids are in school, so I don't have to stay home and watch them all day.
If we opened an OnlyFans, do you think it would do better than our Patreon?
I promise it won't do worse.
That's fair. I'm actually pretty sure that they froze our Patreon.
Just locked it down. Said no.
Well, actually, I think we froze it at 0.
It just won't move.
And they were just like, okay, we're just going to get rid of this account. It's just taking up server space.
It's just here. There's no reason to keep these guys around.
So what's the timeline looking like?
So
late 2024?
Feels like it.
Your optimism is interesting because in every other way, you are, I think, a very realistic person, maybe even like an agnostic person. And it's like every time you talk to me about that shop and you're like, yep, I'm thinking it's going to be this date. And I'm like, bro, I hate to bet against you because I love you, man. But like, that does not seem like realistic expectations you got there.
Well, we got the ceiling guy lined up to come out and do the spray for that to get the foam in. That has to be the first thing. And then the flooring guys, I met with them again yesterday waiting on the final proposal because their last proposal showed 2 floor drains and needs to be 7. So they were off by a lot as far as that. Because the floor drains that are existing, a lot of them, they need to cut the pipe off, put a cap on it, and then re-cement over it. So that's a whole nother day of like, they need guys to come out just to do that for a day before they can even start on the other stuff. So we got that quote adjusted, supposed to be here today at some point, and then we'll give him money. And he said he's about 3 weeks out. What are you pushing buttons for?
I'm pushing buttons because
you just like pushing buttons.
Well, it's weird. First of all, it's a Wednesday, yes. So just know that I'm going to be stealing a lot of shit from the Facebook Live. So it's a good thing we did it. Yeah. Because you notice this button up here hasn't been pressed yet. I'll press it for what the hell.
Just for why not?
There was nothing recording but the live. But the positivity of doing the live is I can rip everything off.
It's all there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Redundancy is important, kids.
Yes.
Especially when you're 2 days early. And you're not necessarily in the mindset that you normally are when you're coming into this shit.
Yeah.
And
it's not the end of the week. It's not the relaxing. Like I have stuff I have to do afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing this week is my wife came home. My kids decided they wanted to make me a hat. So I got me a nice Just the Tip Cigars hat now.
Hell yeah. I was looking at it going like, oh, you got swag already.
Nah, my wife stopped by somewhere with the kids and
that's awesome.
Yeah. And she said it was their idea. So I like that. Just makes it better. I mean, you know how it is. So how about you, man? How was your week?
Well, I don't have a fancy new hat. But it's been a little bit more of the same. I've been trying to hold down the fort in your absence and, making some changes to the cigar cave, try to open it up a little bit, as it were.
Looks good, man.
A little bit cleaner. I don't think the kids at home could really tell. Most of the stuff is kind of...
It's all off camera.
Yeah, because what you guys see is kind of a tightened in version of a very small space. And so it's getting in and out of that space and accommodating people around the table that ends up being a little bit of a distraction or
problematic of sorts.
Oh, look at that. He's got hair under there.
Hey.
Fuck you in your hair.
Steve said, give a close up on the hat. So,
okay.
I'd work on that while you were doing that, while you were talking.
It's a really good thing that you interpreted that properly because this show is going to go a whole different way. You go ahead and set yourself up for that and I'll take care of you. So, setting up the equipment, I made myself a little fancy computer table by hot gluing some garbage together and all kinds of happy nonsense up in this joint. Maybe what we should do, Mister, I have to have my headphones. Is I'll get with your wife and kids, find out where the hat was made. See if we just get them built right into the hat.
Just have it all inclusive.
That's it. Just have them built right in.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I know. Trying to stay on top of things, but brains get scattered, things get moved around, schedule gets hectic. Going up to camp this weekend, so that ended up working out okay doing the show today. And apparently we got some junkies paying attention, a couple of them anyway. Not near as good as our Thursday numbers, but we're zeroing in on the date, right?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll just keep bouncing around until we figure out the best one.
That's it.
Something I didn't see on the notes, and well,
here we go with the judgment already.
No, it's not judgment. It's I missed an episode. It's on me.
Fair enough. To be fair,
you know what? Let's do this first. Ding.
Oh, I suppose we could.
It is that
if you
time.
really want to. We could talk about it.
It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Leaning House Fine Cigars. The Leaning House is your destination for the ultimate cigar smoking experience. Whether you're exploring their wide selection of premium cigars, unwinding in their comfortable lounge, or enjoying live music on one of the most unique and intimate live music venues in the burg, the house has something for everyone. Do you want to try the stick we're smoking today? Stop by leaninghousefinecigars.com or visit Dave in Bell Vernon or Heidi in Brownsville. Wherever you are, make the house your home for premium cigars.
I see the judgment in your eyes.
No, it caught me off guard because I thought we had that fixed.
I did too.
Okay, fair enough. That's I was like, well, I thought I heard it on the intro, just at the very end a little bit, and I was like, nah,
it's not as aggressive. He's referring to the little bit of like reverb or echo on what's coming off of the Stream Deck for the buttons.
Yeah,
and I thought I had it all sorted, and apparently it's not sorted.
Yeah, good enough.
The pleasures of changing equipment.
Yeah. No, you know what, dude? I love that you just handle it. So I'm never going to judge you on it because of exactly that. Let's see. So the cigar we're going to be smoking this week is limited to the PCA members who attended 2022 trade show only. This Honduran Puro uses Cameroon wrapper from JRE Tobacco Farm in Hamastran. Yeah, not even.
I didn't expect you to be
Jamastran
Hamastan. I imagine
Valley of Honduras.
J's or H's in Spanish.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I started taking Spanish.
I chose.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured I better just start learning this language.
Also, you skipped over. You went straight to the underneath portion.
I always do, and then I'll come back.
You're really derailing me even further. This is going to be fun.
Look,
it'll be good.
You're not reading it. Let me.
Well, that's probably what's messing me up.
The wrapper is Honduran Cameroon. The binder is Honduras, and fillers are Honduras. So you got Honduran Cameroon. I want to know. I guess just Cameroon seed.
That's accurate.
I mean, I'm curious how that would actually.
Although to be fair, I think that the man behind the cigars, Mr. Julio Eiroa, does actually probably the best job of non-African Cameroon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's certainly it's a lot thicker and darker than what you typically see. Cameroon wrapper is like a very brittle, very easy to mess up wrapper, but it's also super sweet.
Yeah. It's dangerous to get. It's expensive to get all that to actually source legit African Cameroon.
I'm laughing at Seth Jones in the chat room. He goes, "They let you two know they were on the air?"
That's actually Greg Perry saying they let you two on the air. That would be the Loomis boys coming in here and talking some smack.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know how to follow the chat, Greg. Mr. I'm too good to show up for the live chats with the junkies.
Nope, Greg was there.
Was he?
Larry wasn't there.
Oh, I don't know who anybody is. Can I? All right, guys. It's been a good show. We'll catch you next week. And
not quite, huh?
That's the way it feels. We are not firing on the cylinders.
That's true. So you guys don't know, but we had a herf with the Loomis guys and just kind of hung out and bullshit and listened to Corey and Scott make fun of each other back and forth. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. We got West Coast Goldsy and Greg's pretty like me. Now that I know what his name is,
that's West Coast Goldsy.
All right. Wait. I think I'm a little darker. Okay, so we got West Coast Goldie.
You got Suge Knight and West Coast Goldie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm like the East Coast Pale Suge Knight. The dimensions aren't.
I didn't say anything. I just
as long as we're correcting that. I mean, there's probably some other dimensions.
There may be some other things you could.
If the rumors are true, Sam is so sad he doesn't have his silly sausage.
I know. Right now, I'd be like, and voila.
That is the one positive little beam of light in the dark cloud that is this show right now, is that I don't have the constant distraction of you playing with that thing under the table. Oh, for Christ's sake.
That's half the fun of doing it, though. Is like I'd just sit here and pop my sausage up, and every time his eyes just like dart to it for a half second, just like, damn it, you got me. Damn it, you got me.
I just so we've got a lot of cigars in the works already, if in the mind's eye, in the theoreticals, as it were. But I think that's another one. You know, another core line for the tip is going to be the silly sausage, and the tagline could be "Pop your sausage up."
Actually, might be my favorite name you've come up for a cigar yet.
That's right. We're just using it in everything now. The band name is the Silly Sausage and the Twat Waffles. The
yes,
the cigar line's going to be the Silly Sausage. We can have Silly Sausage Wednesdays, because Tuesdays are taken, I think,
by tacos.
Yeah.
Taco, like it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, hell, we even do Taco Tuesday at the house.
Silly Sausage Sunday rolls right off the tongue. Mm-hmm. Well, kielbasa.
Kielbasa sausage.
What? I'm assuming that was just the little voices in your head. I don't understand that reference.
Tenacious D.
Oh, okay. I did not understand that reference, and I apologize to Jack Black.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's Jeff Goldblum.
That's true. Well, I expected you to get that because you are a Tenacious D guy.
A little bit.
I'm trying to remember. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's just kielbasa sausage. My butt cheeks ain't tight, I think is the whole line. Something like that. Or
pretty sure that's what they're putting on my tombstone.
Too long working at the mill, you're going to have that problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you want to do background or do you want me to do background?
I thought you were. I mean, you took the reins here. I thought you pushed this. I thought you were trying to transition into something. Or
I was the Loomis guys, and then that just fell apart. So I just moving on.
Well, good job. Our telepathy is
just letting it roll, bud.
It's 100 right now.
It is not on point today.
No, you started it. Let's get silly, buddy.
All right, Christian Eiroa, son of Julio and brother of Justo Eiroa, is the owner of Eiroa, CLE, and Asylum brands. Much of the reason behind the success of the Camacho brand before it was sold off to Davidoff. Christian is a bit less conventional than his brother, although he would not win in a fight if you believe what Justo told us in an exclusive interview early this month. I like you added that in there.
So, Greg, for comparison, because you're coming into the train wreck here, there is a little bit. I always screw something up on Sam's reads, but usually we go back and forth every other. So this is what you would have gotten. So we're gonna play the rabbit can.
Oh, you want me to put the commas in the right places?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about any of that. I just want you to not look at things and get derailed. So, Christian Eiroa, son of Julio, brother of Justo, is the owner of Eiroa, CLE, and Asylum brands. Much of the reason behind the success of Camacho brand before it was sold to Davidoff, and Christian is a bit less conventional than his brother, although he would not win in a fight if you believe what Justo told us in an exclusive interview earlier this month.
I mean, if you're just going to redo it, just do it the first time, bud.
Well, I mean, you jumped all up in there and you took what you wanted, and I'm just showing the kids at home why things are the way they are. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Yeah, well, that is the theme of this show.
Not knowing
is not knowing what I mean.
So for this, I was gonna grab the Gordo, just because we don't.
I would have hated you.
I know, and that's how I was gonna do it, just because we have not smoked a 60 on here, and I figured, what the hell? And then I remembered that neither of us really like 60s, so.
Just like penises or peni, depending on how you want to characterize them. A small cigar looks really big in a small guy's mouth. We don't need the big cigar. It's too much. My jaw can't.
Doesn't work for you?
No, it's no good. My jaw can't take it. There was actually a time when I really preferred 660s, and I think it was because I primarily smoked when I was driving my work truck, and I would smoke so fast that I just needed the girth of the 60 to slow the burn. Yeah. That was back when I was doing a lot of luchadors.
Yeah. That makes sense.
My amateur wrestling days.
Amateur. No, I got into, I think 60s were my primary for probably about 6 months. Just because of that budget mentality. Like, well, if I can buy this one, I can buy this one, and it's the same thing, and it's 50 cents, and I get twice the cigar. Sure. And then,
well, you get twice the filler,
right? Which is where the problem came in. Is once I realized that, I was like, not so much.
Going back to your geometry days of pi r square, area, hypotenuse,
tater tots. Yeah,
that's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, we're back on the same wavelength. We're good now.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
So how long did you go without smoking?
It was about a week.
You're a better man than me.
Well, no, because I have my secondary nicotine delivery device over there.
That is fair. You do cheat.
So I do cheat, but no, I mean, before I was trying to get through all the samples, it's not uncommon for me to go 3-4 days without a stick. I smoke when I can sit down and actually put some time towards it.
No. I'm not going to force anything. The moment came and went.
Yeah, I was like, that's what she said. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I don't smoke as much as a lot of people.
Yeah.
Generally for me, it is I'm sitting down, I'm taking time, I'm going to smoke a cigar. And I
assume you have to maintain a minimum different distance from the trifecta of 5-year-olds too.
Right.
So like most of your time is in proximity to them.
Yes.
And so like this would actually be the time that you could smoke more, but I would have to say it'd be a lot of chore sticks.
Well, and that's it. Like while I'm working at the shop, I'm not smoking a cigar.
You could, but there's a good chance you're going to fall off the scaffold because of the smoke in your eyes.
Well, you got that. You have the amount of dust that I'm creating in there. Like the stick's always going to be nasty on the end. I hate that. Like I'm not trying to put drywall dust in my mouth hole. There's enough of it gets there naturally. So that's one of the problems.
That's what she said.
I'll give you that one. It wasn't near as organic, but hey,
it works.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm not big on the chore stick just in general. I don't like to have one.
Yeah, we differ there. But in my mind, I always make it better than it's going to be, right? Like I always think like, oh, this activity sucks. Like it's going to be so much better with a cigar. And then one of two things happen. Either the cigar ends up destroyed, covered in drool, smoke in the eyes, all of that happy shit. Or I just can't pay. I have to relight it 117 times.
Yeah. We did that. I was doing the roof on my shed, and I must have relit 100 times every freaking cigar that I tried to smoke while I was doing it. Because exactly that, like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, get up here, do this, come back down, grab it, relight it, go get something, come back up. Like as I was going up and down the scaffold, it was just over and over again. It was horrible.
So a couple weeks ago, we went camping, like real camping, for the first time in a long time. I'm fortunate that my in-laws built, we call it a cabin, but I mean, it's a really nice modular home.
Yeah.
And, but my son missed camping in a tent, missed the camp ground that we always went to. And so we said, okay, let's go do it. And, my stepfather-in-law, I guess is how you'd qualify him, and my mother-in-law have those electric bicycles, the e-bikes now, right? And they got these little cruisers. And so it was like my first opportunity to cruise one around the campground. And I'm like, well, I don't have to pedal, really.
Yeah, not
like at all if I want to. But even when I do, it could be pretty minimal. So I'm like, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to smoke a cigar while I ride a bike. Thought this is going to be great.
It's not great.
It is not great. So what I ended up with was burned down to about the 40% left of the cigar on one of my vintage selections.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this tastes like shit.
It's bad.
And like, because I'm still not great at balancing because I haven't ridden bike much in forever, and it's got like high handlebars and stuff. The center of gravity's real high on these because they're cruisers. And so I take the cigar out of my mouth and I look at it. I'm like, it looks all right. I rotated over the other side. The other side was burned all the way down, just one side because of the wind blowing in my face. And I was like, okay, cigars and bicycles, bad.
No, they don't work.
Yeah, no. not good together.
I saw a dude on a motorcycle with one the other day. I'm like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah. You look cool at the stoplights, but other than that, you're just dying.
Yeah, but
I hope he was wearing sunglasses at least. Otherwise, you're asking for ashes in the eyes.
But like, okay, if you're like, what's his name, Keith Moskowitz, he chews on his cigars. Like, if you want to get on a motorcycle and chew on the cigar, that makes sense to me. Like, I get it. That's you you enjoy them however you want. That's the whole point of them, right? But that's just such a waste to me. It's like trying to ride a bike or motorcycle and just watching the wind just eat the whole thing before you even get to it.
I can ride a bike with no handlebars.
My kids love that
no
song.
Cigar.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so I got a question for you.
Yo.
I kind of pulled this one out of my butt. What is you're not an accessory guy. You're not like me, but do you have any weird cigar paraphernalia or anything like that that's just like probably something that's super strange that 90% of everybody else doesn't have?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I have some cigars that I bought that are like, I bought the Calabra from the Black Label box, from the black box. So I got that. Like, that's unique. But no, like paraphernalia wise, seriously, dude, I have that Calibri V cutter, a Zycar butterfly. I have a Zycar lighter. I have that Vertigo lighter, one more Vertigo lighter, 2 free plastic ashtrays, like the crappy ashtrays that they just give you when you buy stuff online, and then 2 wood ashtrays my dad made for me. That's it. That is everything that I own cigar wise.
That's a short list.
Yeah.
All right, so I have something that's a little bit weird that I don't think anybody else I know has, and I got it at an estate sale.
Okay.
We still need to make an adjustment to that. I got to sit in the estate sale. Here, you want to? I'll switch the other camera on if you want to point at it.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I'll wait until it's in the position. I'm an amateur, but I'm not.
What you guys want to do is you want to put your little thingy in here.
That's correct.
Like this.
So what's interesting about that is it's electronic.
Yeah, why?
Because there's a small circular blade inside of there that's motorized. So you put your cigar down in there. It's an electronic cigar cutter. Look at the front.
So you just, yeah, dude, that's special.
Yeah, it is. I haven't ever seen one before.
No.
And I think I know why, because it doesn't work that well.
Terrible idea.
It's
just
not
in
good.
General.
Here, let me plug that in for you.
No, I'm good.
No.
We don't need to nip the tip.
Because it's absurd.
Uh-oh.
So when I was cleaning out the garage the other day, I found this.
Jesus Christ. All right, hold on.
Oh, okay. It's going somewhere. So I was hoping to tie something. Oh, he's got to try it now. Yeah, but I asked you, and I thought for sure you were going to have something. Not necessarily an accessory, but I thought, he might have something to work with here. And that did not turn into a segment as I expected that it might. Did you watch In the Hole?
Yes.
He's like, okay, which cigar do I want to sacrifice to this?
I have another one of these. That's the only reason I'm like, one of the ones I have duplicates of.
I don't know why it needs the little viewing window there. I don't know.
This is so fucking dumb. Hold on. Good, switch it. It's so dumb.
Apparently did not make enough room in the old cigar case.
Let's say box press, so we're going to try and cut it this way, I think. Jesus Christ. That's not a bad cut. I mean, it's like an 8,000th of a horsepower.
So what do you think? Do I get an award for that one? Is there?
I think it's special. Let's get
let's
get it off the penis cam there for a second. There we go.
That's all up in there, buddy.
That was pure crotch shot.
A little cold today.
It's very cold all the time, at least in my heart.
I was in the pool.
Oh, you know what? Mr. Jones made a great point. He said, "Does the silly sausage count?" It's cigar related. It
really isn't. It is because we make it,
but it's shaped like a cigar.
So are a lot of things.
Like what?
Anything tubular, sir.
Tubular.
Yeah.
Totally tubular, bro.
I wouldn't recommend sticking your balloon animal in there, but
yeah. No, that's just nip
different,
the tip.
right?
Bring it here. We're just gonna nip the tip.
That's not even it. I've got actually, since we're on this topic, if we find a point where you can entertain the kids, I'll go grab something else that you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Oh God.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit, actually, believe it, it's more conventional than that, but still over-engineered and poorly functional.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That could be a really good description for the show. We just put it in the description on all the shows from now on. Over-engineered.
Barely functional.
Barely functional.
I feel like that just describes like our mentalities too. Like we spend a lot of time thinking about stuff and then we just botch it.
Wait, you think about things?
I think about words sometimes before I say them.
That's why we work well together. It's why I need you here for the balance, right?
Yeah.
Because I can read the paper good and you can talk without thinking of a million different things and stepping on yourself. Like I try to get a thought out and it's like, because there's so much going on in there. Women can multitask. I am not a woman.
Not so much for you.
Huh? No. Props to that, man. Actually, I was thinking about that earlier too. Our relationship on the show is very similar to my marriage with my wife, and it's because of the fact because I don't get any.
Neither of us will let you put it in
right,
us. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, special occasions. No, because you were talking about like, I appreciate how I just come in here and all this shit functions, and but like you're more organizing things on the background, you're setting up the calendar, you're making the phone, you're doing like the administrative stuff, holding shit together behind the scenes or making things happen behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Whereas it is my duty just to make sure the equipment runs.
Yeah, just make sure this works when we need it.
But that you know, and I do okay for that. I do okay. But I always feel like in my actual marriage, not my cigar marriage, that anytime that something fails to function, it is then my fault.
Oh, yes.
You ever get yelled at because the dryer doesn't work? Mm-hmm. As I haven't even used the dryer.
I came off. It was 3 doubles in a row at work, and they were midnights. So I was getting home at 7:00 in the morning. Now it's an hour drive each way too. So like my 16-hour days at the time were 18s minimum of just transpo and getting back and forth and doing it. So I walk in the door and she's just MFing that the dryer doesn't work. So I walked over and I grabbed the dryer, slid it out, unplugged it, carried it outside, threw it in the trash, walked into the garage, got another dryer out.
Wait, did you fucking buy them at Costco?
Just walked back.
Open the 6-pack, pull one out.
Didn't say a word to her, just grabbed the new dryer, walked it in, slid it back, plugged it in, hooked the vent up, turned it on. I said, dryer's fixed. And she looks at me, she's like, wait, why do we have another dryer?
That would be the first question I asked. Where'd you get that?
No, my garage at the old house, like my garage was 2,400 square foot on the first floor and then just a little bit shy of that on the second floor. 16-foot ceilings. It was glorious. It was a little warehouse, but it was half full of doors, windows, appliances because we were
from
buying
the other properties
because we were buying and selling houses. Okay. So I just, my dad was the king of it. He just, anytime they had like the tractor trailer loads at Lowe's.
Yeah.
He's like, if it's $1,500 or less, he's like, you always have that on there. So we just buy tractor trailer loads of building materials at a time.
Fair enough.
And then we got out of it and it was like, all right, so we just slowly sold it all off. It's all gone now. But it was so nice to just walk out and be like, stop yelling at me. I'm tired.
I have a similar story. My shift was lesser, but I think I was probably at 15 or 16 hours with my commute. And I come home to a non-functional dryer.
Yep.
And no option but to get it ready. And you guys see my garage. There's no dryers in here. There are no spare appliances unless they are designed for cutting cigars. Yeah. I saw where your head was going. So
you saw that coming. He's like, yeah, no, it is.
I then had to get on the internet, make 100 phone calls, drive out somewhere and purchase a dryer used because we couldn't afford a new one.
Yep.
Bring it home. And the dryer did not fit through my door. You want to have a look over there at some of the scrapings and some of the stuff that's been cut off of that door frame because I come home and it didn't make it through the door frame.
You should have seen the dryer. Couldn't even fit it through the door.
So I'm breaking out tools and I'm just cutting away at the door frame. I think I might have slept for 15 minutes that day.
Yep.
But it was very much okay, this is going to have to work because I don't know what else to do. I can't buy no more dryers. I can't go out to the shed and open another 6-pack and bring one out here. So it was either like take apart the dryer and try to take it in, one piece at a time and reassemble it. I have no faith in my ability to do that. Or I could just
fixing things, and then when something breaks, it's like, wait, what? We're all of a sudden the bad guy. And it's like, wait, I fixed 1,800 things, and this one thing failed again after I fixed it.
Not only
That's when I'm the bad guy.
but it's been 2 years since I fixed this last time, and we've had this thing for 10 years, and we bought it. It was 10 years old. And also, I was not the one operating it when it was broken. Now, I'm not stupid enough to point any fingers.
Yeah, don't.
But I can say, wasn't me. The operation, I didn't make an operational mistake.
Yeah.
Like, it's just now falls in the... And listen, it's not that they're mad at us. They're mad at the situation. But my wife isn't that good at yelling at dryers, so...
So, I mean, naturally, you're the next pick.
Oh, for sure.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a lot like my job. At work, I am the company representative. Everybody else is union.
Yep.
So when they're mad about something that somebody did to them 15 years ago, I am their outlet for that. And I automatically get blamed because of the color of my hard hat. And at home, it's kind of the same thing. Like, the pipes are all backed up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we just had, my wife and I just had a discussion the other day. She was getting on my case a little bit about something. And I'm like, wait, you're looking at like this one data point. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's back up and look at all this real quick. Now, all this went right. That little point went bad. And you're going to yell at me right now. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just like, I got nothing for you. I'll fix what I can.
Now, what I love about my wife is she stands behind it. Once she's committed, she's committed.
Oh,
you throw all the logic at her you want to, but she's like,
it's done. It's over.
No, I already decided it's your fault. Okay.
Yes, dear.
Understood.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It happens from time to time.
And we've all done it to somebody too. Been mad at them, then realized we were wrong. We're like, I'm sticking to my guns here.
All right, live chat. Who wants to see Sam Reed again? Anybody?
See about that time, eh?
It's getting there.
Good news, everyone.
It's your favorite segment of the show, Sam.
It's time for the cigar news, brought to you by Tom's Penworks. As a cigar smoker, you appreciate luxury. And as a premium cigar smoker, you appreciate handmade craftsmanship. And as a customer of Tom's Penworks, you'll appreciate the selection of custom-made, limited production items that you can show off to your friends. From handmade pens, pencils, bottle openers, cigar cases, and now custom rings, Tom will create something special for you or your loved one. Find him on the web at etsy.com/shop/Tom's Penworks. And as always, you can find the link in the description for this episode.
I still hate that intro. I despise your little porn intro every time.
You told me that you didn't like it, and to keep it, I offered to change it. You're being a wife.
It's unique. Let's go with that. It's unique. So
you're
let's
like,
leave
I hate that. You want me to change it? No,
don't change it.
I'm just gonna bitch about it every
chance
time.
I get. Exactly.
Every time it comes up, I'm gonna give you the test.
Let's see. The news brought to you by Tom's Penworks. Limited edition Villager Miami 2022. Villager. Oh yeah, that's a completely different thing. Ships to retailers. Created for family, friends, customers, or colleagues who visited Villager's U.S. headquarters in Miami. The cigars were commercially unavailable until Villager decided to release a small amount this year. First shipments have left the warehouse and are heading out to retailers now. Uses a Dominican wrapper, Ecuadorian 702 binder, Dominican fillers. The 6x52 Toro has been aging for 2 years and is finally ready to hit the shelves.
First of all, I got two things. I'm going to address your read. It was better, but I could feel you trying to do what I asked you to do. What's the name of the guy that runs the agricultural thing in Letterkenny? Mick something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, son of a bitch. McMurray.
Is it McMurray?
McMurray. McMurray. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. So you got that thing going on because you're doing the how are you now?
How you now?
Every sentence you ended it like that.
Yeah.
So it's like Villager releases the thing. Everybody comes to the thing. Bubba who. But I didn't even know Villager was still around.
I didn't either.
So this is big news to me.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were gone, right? Like I think they sold their cigarette line or something like that. Or I thought they were sold out and gone. So just the fact that Villager's making cigars was news. So hey.
Yeah, I've never had one of you.
Yes, but it's been a minute.
Do you remember it favorably?
Actually, no. Now that I think about it, it was a different cigar than I'm thinking of. But I did smoke. I smoked Vilgers. I had a bundle or something of old stock from somewhere. No. I do think that they had one. I can't remember what the name of it was off the top of my head. That actually wasn't too bad. That was kind of like another guy stepped in and did.
Yeah.
But yeah, the regular line was nothing special
great.
for me. It was super. It was like Macanudo mild.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I've never had the opportunity. So, let's see. Davidoff, the Master Selection 2014 will be released this Thursday, September the 1st. I don't know anything else about it beyond that. Do you?
I know that it'll be released September 1st.
Okay. Do we know what makes it the Master Selection?
I assume that because the big guy did it. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I mean, if there was more that I knew, it would have been pasted in there.
I've just thrown it out there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you get the extent of all of my knowledge on a subject via copy and paste.
Fair enough. Warped Cigars launched the El Oso Petit Robusto. It's a limited edition 4x50 Vitola in the El Oso blend, utilizing an Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro wrapper and Ecuadorian binder, while the filler comes from Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. The release is limited to 160 bundles of 10 cigars, a total run of 1,600 cigars. Room 101 is celebrating its 13th anniversary this year, and as is tradition, they're celebrating with a new cigar. It's a Nicaraguan Puro that comes in a 6x52 Toro. Production is being limited to 1,500 boxes of 20 cigars, with the cigars made by AJ Fernandez, which also made Room 101's 10th and 12th anniversary releases.
Yeah, you're not a hype guy.
No.
Not very much. We'll definitely the next time we do a show, we'll do our traditional markups of who's doing what.
Yeah.
So that you don't get caught in this endless.
I'm just curious how I've had to read the whole thing so far. Normally we at least back and forth it, but you're like, oh no.
Oh, because first of all, I needed to get us back on track. Although that leaves us with events, which is normally you. But it was really just an excuse for me to leave the room.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
I wanted to continue the segment.
Okay.
And the segment is Corey's ridiculous cutting devices.
What the fuck? Why is this
Get your camera out.
Why does this exist? All right, hold on. All right. Let's do a less crotchy view.
Yeah, that's I don't even know. It's like a camera shutter.
It's yeah. Can you see it? Yeah.
And the problem is that it has 3 blades.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've got another cigar that you would have.
No, I have no more sacrificial.
This is a very bad cut. It's supposed to be like the perfect cut because it's even and spreads everything out and stuff. But what happens is you end up with. You ever cut a 4x4 and have to rotate it?
Yeah.
Like on a miter saw. You know how you get like one that's like a sliver higher than the other?
Yeah.
One side. That's kind of what happens on that.
Yeah, because
it's an interesting. It's a cool idea, but it's another excellent example of over engineering.
Yes,
for something that you just do not need.
No, and it hurts your hand. I mean, it doesn't it's not causing massive amounts of pain, but it's not comfortable to use either.
There's a reason it hasn't come out of the display case in a long time, but it's one of the weird things in the collection, as it were. But it's. The Cuban crafters supposed to they call it the perfect cutter. Yeah, it could probably use some oil. or some less sharp edges.
They used hard corners on the part where your hand goes. It's just as your hand comes together, your finger twists around, it gets jammed into the corner. All right, not great.
The good news is it's patented.
Well, as long as they got the patent on it,
that's
it's not
right.
pending. It's good to go.
But it is so over engineered. It is insane. But yeah, doesn't work for Jack.
At least they're not motorized, spinning in there at the same time.
Might be cooler. I'm thinking about putting that in a go-kart. The cutter motor.
Yes. Dude, something I always wanted to do with my buddies, and I still have the motor.
Don't like where this is going.
I still have the engine for it, but we talked about building go-karts and doing real-life Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
So where we used to live, you just drive. I mean, there's nobody out there. There's nobody on the road. So we were just going to do it like 6 block area.
Are you one of those people like me that has conversation, drunk or sober. In my case, it's more sober because I don't drink as often, but I've had many while drinking. And you'll get enthusiastic about an idea with somebody, and they're tuned up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next day you hit them up and you're like, "Hey, when are we doing this thing?" What?
Oh yeah.
The thing we were talking about last night, like, I wasn't serious. Like, you can't have conversations with me that you're not serious about. You talk about it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about like making board games and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm fucking all ready to go the next day. I got all my materials ready, my notebook and shit. Like, all right, let's start brainstorming. Like, I got what we thought of last night. And they're like, no.
Wait, but I wanted to play.
I hate that. Don't talk about anything with me if you're not interested in doing it, a la podcast.
Well, we had it all planned out where we were going to each take like 1.25 inch PVC and have 3 places for the balloons to tie above our heads and chase each other around with airsoft.
Yeah.
So it was just you're not going to be throwing turtles at each other because that would be awkward. But
that's not bad. Or you could do the more fun, but maybe more dangerous. That cop that always messes with his wife with the balloons and the Nerfs. You ever see that on the YouTubes? And I assume what he does is he must glue a thumbtack to the tip of the Nerf darts. You ever see?
Oh yeah.
So he could pop the balloons, because otherwise, how you popping them with the Nerf gun? It has to be thumbtack.
Unless he knows exactly the amount they need to fill.
So that could be really fun until you guys get to the finish line and somebody's got a bunch of gold circles all over them with thumbtacks sticking out.
Yeah, let's maybe just leave it to airsoft. Airsoft will work.
I mean, probably the same amount of pain. Airsoft guns hurt. I got a whole arsenal of them. I can attest to that.
Yeah, we discussed goggles, rules, all that jazz. Most of the guys, decided on weed whacker engines. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Little 0.5 horsepower gas motors. I found a 2-stroke 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to be going with that. I mean, it was ready. I had the rack for it. I was ready to build. And damn thing never came to fruition. Because I wasn't going to build it just to have a go-kart. Because go-karts are fun, but to have a go-kart, meh. But to chase each other around dressed like Mario characters,
oh yeah,
that'd be a good time.
I've seen some YouTube videos that were pretty good.
Yeah.
I've seen a guy, it must have been Vegas or something, a guy dressed like Mario or somebody of that ilk, and the go-kart paint job was on point. It was perfect. It was a Mario Kart.
Nice.
And the cop pulls up behind him and hits the red lights because he's driving on the street with it. And the cop walks up to him and he pulls out a little stuffed red shell and throws it at him and drives away.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I thought the perfect place to do it would be Century 3 Mall, because it's got the multi-level parking lot there. Just do it at Century 3 and just go in, see how long we can play before the cops came.
Yeah. Or until something structural fell on you and ended your existence.
I mean, that did lead towards us not wanting to do it as much.
So in my conversations with the old Dave and Patty Productions, they said that they're doing vintage video game nights somewhere.
Nice.
So I got another marketing idea.
Uh-oh.
So I'd be a great marketing guy as long as I have an editor to filter out like the 10% that's actually good. But hear me out. At the shop, Mario Kart Mondays.
We'll see what the clientele base is at that
But
point.
you pick the slowest time because it's Monday already. So you go, okay, I don't get anybody in here from 2 to 4 p.m. You just set up Mario Kart and be like, anybody that wants to come in and smoke cigars and play Mario Kart. Tell me it's not a childhood dream come true.
I'm more of a GoldenEye guy.
Yeah, but it doesn't rhyme with any days of the week.
It's like I don't know.
Besides that, they actually continue to make Mario Kart. So like you aren't
modern versions.
The thing about GoldenEye, and we talked about that as well. GoldenEye, one of the coolest nostalgic games of all time. However, can you imagine going back to that control scheme after 20 years of playing first-person shooters as they evolve now?
But
I know you probably hook up a PC, customize a controller, some bullshit.
we still play.
Do. I just
my buddy still has his N64. We go to his shop. We play there. We have cigar and movie nights and game nights at his shop all the time.
I've never been invited to one of these.
There is a small select group of us that goes to this one.
I'm small. I'm select.
you got
fucking. My feelings get hurt on this show too much, man.
Aww.
It's kind of messed up, man. My
If I invite you, you have to play Odd Job.
That's who I always was.
I figured as much. Not because you're both short. You did it because it's cheating, and he's like half height of everybody else.
That's correct. That's accurate. I
You're
wasn't
walking around for the headshots, and you're like, shit, he's down there.
I wasn't picking Jaws.
Right.
But my cousin called the one map the Coreyplex. You remember the complex?
Yeah.
So I would always put it on explosives only. And the glorious thing about that is you can kill people through walls and floors with explosions.
Yep.
And I would just wait until you're backed into a corner that I knew you. And listen, here's the thing. I got accused of a lot of screen watching.
Okay. Screen raping.
Well, we didn't call it that when we were 12.
We did. It was screen raping.
Well, I wasn't from Finleyville.
True.
What you and Elton John do with your denim tuxedos and in the basement of your mom's house is your business. But so, yeah, the thing is, with the TV sizes as they were and the configuration in a 4-person or a 2-person split screen, it's impossible for my peripheral vision not to catch where you are, especially when you play enough of that game that you know I still know all those maps by memory. So like 100%, I know where you are. I don't need the radar. Right. I don't need to watch you. I just catch a color.
Yep.
Next to another color.
Oh, he's in the vent in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I know where that's at.
You're toast.
Yep.
Because all I got to do is back you into a corner and just sit there and throw.
Yep.
My favorite was probably the remote mines, though.
Yeah.
But the grenade launchers were good for if you found the one little spot where you'd heal fast enough to not die from the explosions coming in.
Yeah.
And so that's when you whip out the grenade launcher and you bounce one off the wall and just put it right underneath the guy.
You're like, damn it. Now, we always did License to Kill pistols, so just all you do is hit them one time.
Okay. This is basically golden guns only, except for you could have multiple shots. That's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Golden guns only was more fun because you just get the single shots.
Oh,
Always did that in the library.
We mostly played the stack complex and dude, as soon as that game boots up, you just smile. You're like,
oh yeah,
damn it.
Yeah, I think I still remember which bathroom stall the guy with the octagonal head is hiding in. So when you come out of the vent, you just kill him right away.
Yeah, you can actually just cut the corner. Like you don't have to come out. You just then move on.
You can do it that way.
Yeah,
but it's more fun to open the door and have them go. Oh no! They didn't even have fingers back in those days.
The faces were just like nothing.
Kids these days, man, they don't know how good they had it. We're looking at basically Donkey Kong with a girl's skin on her. It's like, wow, look at Natasha. She's hot. Touch her boobs.
Ding, ding,
Get the gun to touch her boobs.
Hey now.
Oh, boy.
You know what I just started playing again the other day? Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah?
I love that game.
You know, I've played that relatively recently, but I played it in another game. Can you name the game? I don't know what console you played when you consoled recently.
No, I don't remember what game it was.
It's, I think, number 4, Uncharted 4: Thief's End.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Did you play that game?
No.
So it's fun because it's a really well-made graphically game, right?
Yeah.
Like the graphics are pretty impressive for as old as it is on the PS4 as one of the earlier games, I think. But so you're basically rolling around in your house with this dude's wife, and they're like she has an old PlayStation 1 there.
Yeah.
And he like picks on her, and it's like, okay, I'll play you. Loser does the dishes. And you go in and you play. They have an emulator for Crash Bandicoot, the original, built into Uncharted.
That's cool.
So you can act, and you can play it as long as you want to in there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's like the legit game is in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good idea.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I have it on computer, so I have the original. Let's see, I have the first 3.
Okay.
But they look great. Like it's modern graphics on it, so they just reskinned it and everything.
Reskin it. One of the problems with forgetting to push buttons in the beginning is I have really no time frame for how long we've been going because I don't know how far in we were whenever I hit the button. So I know we're about 46 minutes into the recording on the podcast board, but that doesn't mean anything. But just in the interest of keeping things moving, in case not everybody out there is interested in our nostalgia for video games, let's go ahead and move on into the events. Friday, September 2nd at 5 p.m., we have the Alec Bradley Teaches an Old Dog New Tricks. Who says an old dog can't learn new tricks? The Dirty Dog turned 13 this year, and our friends at Alec Bradley are helping us celebrate on Friday, September the 2nd, starting at 5 p.m. I don't know why I put that in there twice. Join them for deals, steals, and fun Dirty Dog 13th anniversary with Alec Bradley Cigars. Friday, September the 9th at 5 p.m., the PCC Prez Earl Serene will be hosting karaoke under the deck at Leaning House Fine Cigars. Don't forget your earplugs. The pro move is to put in your AirPods and listen to the Cigar Junkies podcast live instead, since Earl scheduled it for the same time as our show, essentially.
You bastard.
Also, it's supposed to be a pretty small group of people. Okay. So it would be really funny if everybody in the Pittsburgh area went out for this event, because he's expecting like 6 people.
Yeah.
So if like the 20 people that listen to this show just showed up randomly for karaoke, and just to see the look on his face, especially when they all put in their AirPods.
And just like, he's up.
just sit there. Nobody sings, but
believing.
Just Earl up there by himself singing over and over again while everyone else is watching the show.
Oh yeah, just like everybody just play on your phones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Time after time. Thursday, September 15th, Caseta Oktoberfest. We got it doubled. And I think that I copied it as it was. This is the Blind Fox in Dormont, Pennsylvania. The event starts at 6 p.m. Ron Melindy, sales representative for Caseta Cigars, will be there. The event will be the national launch of the 2022 version of the Caseta Oktoberfest, a cigar meant to be enjoyed with beer.
With beer.
I mean, my interpretation is they all are. It just depends on if you feel like having beer that day. Deals will be available on all Caseta cigars. Ryan Hirschman, sales manager from Sly Fox Beer, will be running a special on drafts of Sly Fox's Oktoberfest beer. The perfect pairing for the Caseta Oktoberfest 2022. What a coincidence that is, that the Oktoberfest beer pairs with the Oktoberfest cigars. They got lucky on that one, if you ask me. There will be free food and featuring Oktoberfest appropriate fare. I don't even know what that means. You got a Leaning House to add to that, or no? We're just going to talk about the 17th.
The 17th. That's the next one coming up. Billy the Kid will be there. Lee Marsh from Stolen Throne will be there. Lee, I think the cigar event starts at 4. And the band goes on at 6.
Usually 6 to 10. Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
Pretty good chance you're going to get to 11 on that one, I think.
I believe that they're doing espresso martinis at my recommendation.
I was already coming in force. It's going to be the first show, I think, that I've ever gone to there that I'll be on time. Like, I'm going to show up beforehand. I actually might go a little bit early because of the Stolen Throne event. The wife doesn't care about that, but we can get set up. I asked Dave, we're coming in force this time. So I asked if we could get like one of the back tables.
Yeah, a little
instead
more space.
Of scattering our group. Poor Colby and Pam. We had a table for 3 that we were told was for 6. It was not for 6.
Oh, no.
So they went and sat at another table until the rightful owners of that table came down, and then they went back to the shop.
That's so fun. Well, Colby said she's trying to get a group from Correjos to come down. So
you better hurry up.
Yeah, you got to let us know how many you're going to have.
You better get a hold of Dave or Sam immediately and give them a number. Yeah,
if you want to space,
if you're lucky,
the Kid,
it'll still be available. Yeah. Like I already put in for my table at 6 because I know that one's going to be packed out.
Yeah, you're going to be in there full up pretty good.
I described that event to some people. I don't remember who. But it was definitely not a female.
No.
And I was like, oh, dude, this was the coolest show we ever went to over there. This guy standing on tables, playing the guitar behind his head, fucking playing with his tongue. He's got a dick in your face the whole time. And they're like, how's that a selling point? I'm like, well, there's ladies there. They like that sort of thing.
Made me think of the movie Waiting. Wow. That's a nice dick.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
You've never seen Waiting?
Well,
Ryan Reynolds? They're the wait staff at a restaurant.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen that.
It's so angry.
It will happen. It will happen. They don't call it the one-eyed monster for nothing.
Yeah, man. Let's see. What do we got next week? So next week's show is going to be the 9th, right?
It could be.
For us? Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. So that's going to be the week
as long as you stay healthy.
Yeah. If I can actually,
You get your monkeypox vaccination yet? I'm a little concerned.
Enough out of you about the monkeypox, all right? Just because you have your recreational activities doesn't mean I do the same things.
Now let's go back to the Rona.
Calm down. Yes, we're going to have a gentleman on from Cigars for Warriors. He'll be calling in remote, so we'll be doing our first remote in show. So that'll be.
So chances are really good that show's just going to crash.
It's just going to be a train wreck. I love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a lot of leaning on the technical
be a lot
things
of
to work
on that one.
Yeah. Maybe we should not deviate from the normal time frame. Give it the best chance at life that it gets.
Yeah.
We want a shrubbery.
Too loud. Wow, man. The problem is some of them are loud, some of them are not.
They're just not, I get it.
Go ahead, ask what you're going to ask.
I don't remember now. It's gone.
I was going to play it off as, no, you were expecting the other one, so I played that one instead, but no, I was going for one button, and I turned my head and hit the one next to it instead. Cool. Oh, yeah. I'm keeping this train wreck going 150%. You know why? It's my birthday.
Donuts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what do you think of the cigar?
It's good. It's really good. And it's not surprising. It's got a little bit of that First 20 Colorado that I really enjoys as a stick that I prefer from them normally. But this is definitely one of the best CLE sticks I think I've had.
Yeah, I have to agree. Actually, I enjoyed that cigar a lot, which Honduran tobacco, not normally my thing. So definitely impressed with that one. I enjoyed it a lot.
You know, there's a joint down here Evan plays at called Off the Rails Barbecue. Yeah. Seems like the perfect location for us to do a show because we are off the rails all the time.
Yeah, pretty much all exclusively.
Yeah, I actually considered the name change for the podcast to just be an Off the Rails.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get sued by the barbecue people.
Yeah.
Actually, dude, I really do want to go there at some point. I hear that place.
You haven't had their food yet?
I've had their food at the catering, but that's not the same.
Yeah, as good as it was at the catering, it's amazing.
Dude, I hear he's got like some stupid tractor trailer size smoker there, or like 3 of them or something.
Dude, that's
Have you been there?
No.
We'll have to set up an expedition, I think.
Yeah, maybe get out and about.
I think we could make that happen. We got to do it while the weather's still half decent.
Yeah, we might be able to make that happen.
I don't want to be doing that show in December.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
Yeah. Besides that, your shop will be open in December, right?
God, I hope so.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm rooting for you, but
I just found out the lead time for some of the permit reviews is extending, actually doubling. So, yeah, October is now hopefully October, but where it was originally it was August.
You're still hoping for October?
Yeah, I was, but
was not currently.
No,
yeah. You got a nice little cocktail of bureaucracy and contractors that are going to push you into Nicaragua time.
They're trying to. They're really trying to drag this out as long as they can, but
do the hustle.
I just hired a GC for the electrical side, and he's squaring things away. So there's some. All he's doing is basically just timelining them and holding them accountable. Like he really has nothing else input wise so far. But
yeah. Hey, if you got the money, buddy,
I got the time.
You're better than me.
I feel like Patty Cakes is a bit off right now. She thinks that it's Thursday afternoon.
Aye.
Yeah.
Well, she's coming in a little late.
Yeah. It's not. It's yeah. I have no idea what the point of that comment
I don't know. All I know is I expect better from an honorary cigar junkie host, and figure your shit out. Or does that just make her even more qualified because she doesn't know where she is and what day it is?
I feel like 2 things can be true.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know where to go with that. You nailed it.
That's about it, huh?
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength again. Finally, are we brothers?
No.
Yes.
Every time.
Every time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I don't think you're saying that right. I'm trying to remember what he actually says back to him when he says that. I think it's just like, I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's true.
Let's see. What else do we have going on? Anything exciting?
Exciting? I don't know. I got to work today. That's exciting, right?
Oh, lucky you.
For real.
For real.
Time
man.
true? I get the time might be real. Let's go ahead and welcome the new members to the group. I'm gonna go ahead.
To the party.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off your hands, so you don't have to do the pronunciations. Are you? Oh, you proofreading?
I just want to see if there's anything that I'm preparing to make fun of you for. Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Welcome to the group: Pablo Lopez, Michael Crosby, David Witt, Delta Cigar. I don't think that's his real name. Brian Batten, Andre Peters, Anthony Glyak. Yeah?
I'd go with Glyak.
Yeah, why not? Vincent Longabordi, Kelsey Elizabeth, David Tyler, Stephen Simon, and Zach Patton.
Why couldn't it be Steven Tyler? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're really close. We had Tyler Steven.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of.
Almost there.
If you consider proximity to be any sort of precise measurement. Their names were next to each other, damn it. The comma was in the right place and everything.
But his intentions weren't good.
No?
What movie was it with Pauly Shore? Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs.
Dude, you're going pretty far back.
Yeah.
Most of
I think it was Son-in-Law.
Most of my early 90s Pauly Shore memories have been overwritten with Nintendo 64 cheats.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the worst controller ever.
Oh, I loved it at the time, though.
I know it made some. But now you grab it and you're like, "This is."
Was it the first one with the joystick on it? I feel like it was. I feel like it beat out the DualShock.
Yeah, it came out before the DualShock did because it came out with PS1. But I'm trying to think. I mean, there was controllers that were joysticks for different platforms.
Yeah. But I'm talking about
Nintendo,
a standardized controller with a joystick on it. And you remember when that thing got worn down and it got all clicky and there'd be dust coming off of that thing,
and the
all
stick
the time?
would just like fall over.
Or it was like the first wandering controller. You would set it down and your dude would just be going in circles.
Yep. You'd hit pause and then you'd unpause and it would just like freak out and you're like, unplug, plug it in, pause, unpause.
Yeah. I remember I was ahead of the curve because I knew how to strafe with the C buttons.
Yeah.
And like nobody else had kind of figured that out yet.
But they had a haptic feedback thing you could put in there.
A rumble pack is what they called it.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think they were the first ones to do that. Right?
Yeah, rumble packs and memory cards in the controllers.
Oh, yes, memory cards.
And then they had that little supercharger that you could put on the processor.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
No, you didn't know about that?
No.
There's like a little secret compartment on the top of the thing. And you pop it open and there was like a dock in there that you'd stick this thing in there. And basically they weren't the first to do that. Do you remember the Sega Genesis 32X?
Oh, I had that one.
Okay, so it's the same idea. Basically, you're just increasing the amount of bits that you could use or whatever by basically
just give it some more processing
overclocking
power,
the processor. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, so they had that too. There's all kinds of cool stuff back then. All the ridiculous ass stuff we had for like the stuff that the technology today makes so obsolete. Like, do you remember all the contraptions they made for the Game Boy that had a light, the giant magnifying
glass, the battery pack? I never had the joysticks for it, but I had the light and the magnifying glass. Yeah, and I was really and I had the rechargeable battery packs.
Yeah,
for that, and I had the little zipper pouch where like everything was made to go in there.
I had the Game Gear.
Nice.
And I'm sure that thing put off massive amounts of radiation.
Oh, yeah.
But I always wanted, they made a TV tuner for it that was like an antenna TV for a portable TV that you could watch TV on the Game Gear. I always wanted it, never had it. Yeah, dude, very much ahead of the curve. Now it's like, I got a thing I can pull out of my pocket and watch anything I want. Yeah,
play any game you want.
Yeah.
I mean, they have emulators for all those games for your phone now. Like...
I've had a few of them.
Yeah, you had to have the console. You had to buy the game. It was clunky. It was this big setup. You blow into your freaking cartridges trying to get them to go.
Yeah, I had a Super NES and a Genesis emulator on my phone. Yeah. And like a little thing that connected to my PlayStation controller so I could use it as a Bluetooth controller that held my phone. I played a lot of Streets of Rage, like DuckTales, stuff like that. The Sonic games, the Super Nintendo Marios.
Nice.
Lots of different stuff. It was a good time. But yeah, man.
You got lost there for a second.
Seth Seth had no gaming consoles, and I
good for you, bud.
I don't know if I feel that way.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. We were like in that era where we could do 8 hours, 12 hours of playing video games when you had friends over and stuff, or even when you didn't. But then we also got whooped and sent outside.
Right.
So I think we kind of got that perfect balance of doing it, but not it being our whole lives. We wanted it to be, but we still had like that go get bloody down the street.
Yep.
We would make, we didn't have a basketball hoop at any of our houses. So there was a guy that lived a couple houses or a couple blocks away from me. I think we stacked up like 3 or 4 milk crates and put a metal trash can on top of it and used it to play basketball. Yeah. And I dunked on it one time and there was a big piece of metal sticking out the side. I think I still have a scar from where it sliced my hand open. And I'm like, oh no, do I need stitches? And my friend's dad's like, nah, you're all right.
You'll be fine. No, I really want an emulator cabinet.
Street Fighter is good.
I really want to get an emulator cabinet at the shop where like you can have 4 people with joysticks and the 3 buttons.
What's your favorite arcade game?
The one I have the most nostalgia with is Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
That's the one that we would go to the roller rink and we would play.
Mm-hmm.
Just pump quarters into that thing. But I don't know. Probably my favorite one's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There it is. Do you know that they just came out with a new one?
No.
Literally. So this year, they came out with a collection that's like 14 of the old Ninja Turtle games together from Game Boy, original Nintendo, and all of the original arcade games are all on one collection for like $40 on like the Nintendo Switch or something. And then they came out with a new one also this year called Shredder's Revenge. And it is like an old school 8 or 16-bit side scroller, just like the old ones. Like the graphics look the same, but it's a whole new story, and you can play as April and Casey and stuff.
Well, that sounds dull. I want to be a turtle.
Well, I mean, you can. It just gives you an option.
I mean, okay, I can see wanting to be Casey Jones, but why would you want to be April?
Because you're a girl.
But what is her ability? She's not. She doesn't have any powers. She's not.
She reports the news. We need April now more than ever.
But that's all she did. Like, okay, let's play a game. All right, you're April. Yellow. Oh yeah, having the hots for April was a thing, man. Back in the day, both pixels were awesome.
Look at the size of them pixels,
man. They got some good pixels on that one.
But yeah, no. My son got it and played through it in a couple of days. He really enjoyed it, but it looks super badass. I got to get it for the PlayStation.
You got to get him to play the original Mario for Nintendo, or the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Nintendo.
The first version.
Remember the freaking water levels, dude?
Yeah, dude. Those were some stuff on.
That was terrible.
So I always got my stepbrother to play for me to get to the turtle van part because I couldn't beat like the second board or something. There was that game was so hard. Remember, they had the topographical map that you'd go around on, and then you'd go down in the sewer, and all the fighting was in the sewers. Yeah,
dude, that game was really hard. That's
all those old games are really hard. There's really no save points. Right. You got 3 guys, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's it. Like
your weekend was ruined. Oh, what was the worst? I know you've experienced this.
Pausing it,
at playing all day long, pausing it. Turn off TV, waking up in the morning, and it's doing like the flash and shit where the game's not working anymore. You're like, God damn it, Nintendo, I blew into you. Why aren't you working? I can't go back.
Or somebody turned it off or
tripped over the power plug.
We were always good. So I was always the first one up in the house.
Yeah.
So like I could always claim it in the morning before everybody got up. But no, like it never failed. I'd be in the middle of playing something. I'd go in to get breakfast or whatever. And my brother would wake up and come downstairs while I was getting breakfast. And he'd just be like, click, click. I'm like, no, you son of a bitch.
I was almost there. I was at Rocksteady, damn it.
But I remember like playing Tekken for PlayStation, the original Tekken. And my brother and I handing off back and forth because like I could beat this guy, he could beat that one. Because there was a rumor you could unlock a guy if you beat every single character without taking any damage. But you could take no damage in 20 fights.
Yeah.
And we would always get like almost there. And just every time something different would get us. Like, no. I don't think we ever actually did it to even find out if the unlock was real.
Dude, just so many games. I remember games that I thought were like world-changing technology things at the time. Like Genesis was Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
I remember like that game looked so good for the Genesis. Although Sonic was a huge compared to a lot of things at the time.
Yeah.
Battletoads, another impossible game.
Yes.
Altered Beast, I remember playing a lot of that one.
Played that one.
But where was I going? So we got I'm gone. I don't know.
Amazing technology.
Oh, I was gonna say the one console I was super excited about that never went anywhere was the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast was like a pretty crazy system. The
concept
controller was
good,
weird.
but that was it.
Yeah, well there was like a fighting game on that one that I always thought was the coolest game at the time, and I couldn't understand why that console.
Which one?
I don't know.
Fighter?
I don't remember what was. No, it was something similar to like Streets of Rage, where you're side scrolling and going through boats and yachts and stuff, killing people and throwing all kinds of shit. And I just remember it being like super exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. There was so many good ones. I think the biggest like technology game changing moment for me was Metal Gear Solid. Like,
okay.
The way that
I didn't play the older versions.
Yeah,
I played one or two of the newer ones.
Yeah, dude. When that game first came out,
GTA, bro. GTA 3.
No. When you're fighting Mantis in Metal Gear Solid and you just keep dying because you can't control your character, and you did like hours of trying to fight this one boss, and you don't even get to try and do anything. As soon as it starts, he takes control of your character. That's how the fight starts.
Okay.
You have to unplug your controller and plug it into player 2 slots to be able to control your character.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like that whole concept was just like
Hideo Kojima stuff.
Yeah.
Just like messing with people.
Yeah, and then like the concept, like you knock on the wall to get the guard to come around, and you'd run around, like do a full circle on him so you knew which way he was facing.
They still use that sound in all the YouTube stuff these days. That
Yep.
alert noise.
Blink.
Dude, that shit would give you a stroke when you heard that. You're like, no. Oh, it was so.
But then when you beat it and unlocked everything, you got camouflage, you got a sword. You couldn't die towards the end. Like once you beat the game like 2 or 3 times, you could just fly through it.
Solid Snake actually should get some props in the cigar world because he smokes a digital cigar.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's in your equipment, so you can check the wind and stuff.
Well, in the other game, he uses it to like advance time. So like if it's nighttime and you want to wait until daytime and you want to advance the time on, you have to smoke his
in the 5th one.
It's like a vape pen before vape pens were a thing, except for I don't even know if there was any smoke.
Yeah, it was just his way of burning time.
Yeah. But GTA 3, dude, was like the first time that you could just like really roll
Open
around
world,
in an open world, dude. That shit was crazy.
The first popular open world.
Yeah.
Now look at it. I mean, you can do anything in the game.
Go back to Genesis Road Rage. You ever play Road Rage? That was such a cool, violent game.
But you know what? Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal was dope.
Twisted Metal was.
I didn't like the
fun.
Controls so much.
If you inverted, it was fine.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Like everything was backwards.
I remember getting a newer one, and it was just a weird control scheme. It was tough to get used to. Once you did, you were okay. But Road Rage was on Genesis. It was one of the older games on the Genesis, and it was motorcycle racing with weapons.
Streets of Rage.
No. Streets of Rage was a side scroller beat 'em up. That was like there was a kid on rollerblades in Streets of Rage 2.
It was one of the ones with the yellow tab on the. Okay, yeah.
It was the little arrow that would point you and beep.
No, I'm saying on the
Road Rage.
Yeah, on the.
Oh, on the cartridge.
Thing. Yeah, on the cartridge. It had the little yellow tab. I never knew what those were for.
I think it was just something they did to make them look different. I think there were actually cartridges.
There was a chipset underneath that you could plug something into. But I never learned what it was.
I never knew you could take that thing off.
Yeah.
I thought it was just
slid off.
All those extra accessories that nobody had. Yep. But no, Streets of Rage or Road Rage was a motorcycle racing game.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how you'd get the weapons. I guess you drive over them, but it was like
pick them up.
You couldn't even tell what anything was.
Yeah, and
but
you
just drive,
and it all
you'd
would
have like a chain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
then you'd upgrade your bike.
But you could kick people and stuff and make them wreck. And then you'd be doing great. You'd be in first place. You'd be like, I'm killing it. Cow.
Yep.
And you go flying. Yep. And you'd have to run back to your bike.
That's right, because you didn't die or anything. You just got knocked off.
Well, eventually your bike could blow up. It would say it would give you some sort of wasted thing or something like GTA did, but until you wrecked it, you had to run back to your bike. And I remember there being games where you went sailing for like a half a mile.
Yeah, you were gone.
And it was just waiting for it. And I think it would run back to the bike automatically, but he would get caught up by obstacles. So you'd try to steer him around it. And then you'd be like, okay, I'm good, and let go. And he'd go running back the other way. You're like, no.
And it'd be like, because he was single direction. The game was single direction in front of you. So when you're running back, you couldn't see where you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was like, I think there might have been rear view mirrors, but it was hard for a kid to figure out what's going on in that little tiny window.
Well, I don't know what this means.
Why do I have to steer backwards? And how am I looking in the mirror if I'm not on the bike anymore?
How's there rear view mirror? Whatever.
Wireless backup cans back in the day.
Yeah, already there.
Sega was on top of that shit.
What was the bike game for Nintendo where like you could build your own ramps and stuff, and it was something
I
bike.
know that one.
Like
speaking of bikes, Paperboy.
Yeah, dude. My PlayStation game of choice, other than Metal Gear Solid, was Armored Core.
Okay.
Dude, it was cool. Like you could build your mech, and you could be a tracked mech, have legs. You could have 6 legs, all that. And then you had rocket launcher.
Yeah.
You could put whatever you wanted on like the sides and on your guns and all that. And then you'd go fight mechs.
So I remember the first game that made me jealous of my friend having a PlayStation. Because up till that point, I'm like, no, I like Nintendo better. Because there was no loads.
Yeah.
64 had no loads, and that was the one thing that it had going for it. Do you know why PlayStation happened?
I heard this story once, and I don't remember what it was.
So what happened was Nintendo paid Sony to make them a CD version of a video game console for them. It was supposed to be the new Nintendo system. And at the last second, Nintendo backed out and said, we're going to make this instead. And so what happened was Sony was like, well, we've put all the development and we made the console. The console's here. It works. Like, why don't we just come out with our own video game system? So Nintendo created their own competition with Sony, which is pretty crazy. But the first game that I ever saw, like a friend had, that I was like, oh, I really want this, was Destruction Derby.
Never played it.
Dude, it was so good. It was just a bunch of different maps, and it was demolition derbies. But it was called Destruction Derby. And I don't know if they were all races, or I'm sorry, I don't know if there were races, but most of it was, maybe I just never did the races. You could just do the arenas. But it was cool because you had like the topographical thing that you have on like the on your idiot lights on your car.
Yeah.
So it would give you the topographical view. So you're like, would get damage, it would go yellow, and eventually it would go red. And then it would just disappear. So it's like you could back into somebody, but if you had so much damage in the back, it wouldn't hurt you anymore, but it wouldn't hurt them either. You couldn't hurt them. So you'd get to the point where you're like, okay, I've got like one little tiny bit of damage left that I could take, but it's also the only way you can inflict damage. So you get down to like the last guy and you like try so hard to do it perfectly, and you hit him, but then you die too,
you blow up too.
Or you die first and they win. It's like, it was rough. But there were like school buses in that game, I feel like, and stuff. It was an awesome game.
And now think about it. So you go from that to Rocket League, where the cars are flying and doing like. Have you played Rocket League at all?
Oh, dude, yeah,
dude. Like just the transition in such a short period of time.
That was something the Simpsons predicted.
Rocket League?
Yeah, I never seen anybody actually call them out on that one because they've got a million other things that were like political that happen and stuff. But in terms of like predictions for technology, there's an episode where I think it's the one where Homer becomes the plow guy, Mr. Plow.
Okay.
And gets a plow truck because the city sold their plow trucks to Mr. Burns. And so there's a cut scene where it goes over and Mr. Burns and Smithers are driving around in the house in plow trucks playing soccer using the plow trucks instead. I remember the first time I saw it and I was like, that's where Rocket League came from. Somebody watched that shit and was like, yo, what if we made this into a video game? And it's a great game.
Dude, and that game's fun, like Rocket League.
Oh, it's so good.
Because you can be bad at it and still have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as you're not too concerned with, winning, it's a blast.
The worst, the one game that they've never made a good copy of, like that they've never come out with a good sequel to, and it's mostly because the rights are split up between different people. By the way, this is the Video Game Junkies podcast.
Just getting ready to say that.
This is the last one I got, I promise. Actually, I can't promise that because
I'll stop after this one if you will.
Truce was the last one. It was Paradise City. Burnout. Burnout Takedown was the one I loved. Me and my buddy played thousands of hours of that game just against each other in split screen. You do the races and you got points for killing each other. So you do the road rage races where it was either the person that made it to the end that had the most kills, or if you killed 10 cars, then the game would just stop. You'd won.
Wow.
So the whole idea was it's fun to crash. And like they did the crash party. Everyone else always loved the crash party.
Oh, okay.
Where basically you just get a running start into an intersection and you try to cause as much damage as possible. But they made it so you could, as soon as you wrecked, it would go into slow motion in that version. And you could steer the wreck. So you could go, okay, there's like a power up over here to like a 4 times multiplier. And so you try to steer into that while your car's flying in slow motion. Or there would be time extenders, or there was an explosion one. So if you angled it just right and you hit this car and started causing massive damage and then hit this explosion icon and boom, everything would explode. And the chain reaction, you're trying to cause as many like millions of dollars worth of damage as you could. And it was turn-based. So you would pass the controller. The next guy would try and see who could get the high score. This is a really good game.
That's cool. What console was that?
That was PlayStation 2.
2.
And we tried playing it again later on a TV here, on a high def TV, and it's just so hard to look at. And then they came out with Burnout Paradise, but it was just not the same.
Yeah.
Like I don't think the car took damage the right way or whatever. It was there was no multiplayer.
Oh.
The whole game was based on multiplayer. Is why it was so popular. And they came out with Burnout Paradise, and it was a fun game. It was an open world version of it with good graphics, but there was no multiplayer at all in any capacity.
Wow.
It was stupid.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, there's just so many good games. And like, I was never one growing up to sit and play games when it was nice out.
Yeah.
I never had to be thrown out. It was always like, no, can I go out?
Yeah.
But if it was crappy out or it was late at night or whatever, then game on. And just so many good times just sitting around with friends, BS, and trading the controller back and forth, and, playing like the first Ninja Turtles and just being like, all right, I got this level, you got that level, and just changing at deaths. And you always had that one buddy who was really good, so he'd get like 12 levels and be like, all right, dude, just stop. Like, can somebody else try?
Like, can we be reasonable?
Yeah.
Like, what's you get a 10-minute timer.
Yeah. Like you just beat half of Mario in your turn. None of us have played yet, bro.
Right.
Oh, do you ever watch the speed runs of games?
Oh yeah,
dude, those guys. Like,
there's so many shortcuts too.
Yeah,
I like the one where it's like the Mario Maker, where you could create your own levels, and they're like basically like me trying to get through life, and it's all those spinning fire, just like windmill things.
Yeah, there's no way. There's one way to get through, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's pretty much impossible anyway. And I do see some of those, and I go, okay, all you did was just animated this. Like, there's no way anybody actually played that, right? I mean, there are people. Then you
watch them, and you're like, how did you even see that he could do that? Like, how did you get him to jump? Whatever, man. Like the flag at the end of Mario.
Yeah, you got to know how to break the physics.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I did everything right, and I fell at the bottom. This is not right. So what do you got going on this week for between now and this show airing on Friday? Anything good?
Work, camp.
Oh, you're going to camp again?
Going to camp Friday.
Nice.
But, probably try to get the show up before then, because I'll probably be on the road on the way up, or have it ready to go and then just load it when we get there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then let's see, I'm going out to, there's a cabin we've got in the last couple of years for this weekend in Berkeley Springs. And dude, it's great. We get there, we don't leave the whole time we're there. It's just a house, decent amount of little property right there. Small creek runs in the back, hiking trails, stuff like that. Money. Just let the kids roam, like just go crazy. I smoke way too many cigars while we're there.
Sounds like everything I do.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's nice to just completely unplug. So I'll be like unreachable for 4 days, which I'm looking forward to.
There you go.
Just I can't, but yeah, should be good. Should be good times. Good times.
All right. Well, I feel like this one has run its course.
What do you mean, video game junkie?
I don't know if anybody's left. There's one person. Somebody's left.
I don't mind.
Anyways, make sure you join us next week when we will be smoking the Leaning House Honduras. Oh, yeah. We
I thought that's where you were going.
Well, that's an option too. The participation trophy of the week, the coveted golden grasshopper, the gilded,
Not a cricket, bro.
the gilded trophy goes to John Evans because he showed us pictures of his meat.
Yeah, dude, not fair. I wasn't
Made us all hungry. Yeah. Screw you, Johnny.
No, I appreciate the love, and I'm really enjoying that the Facebook group has been a lot more of people just posting their stuff.
Yeah, self-sufficient people doing things on their own. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Speaking of which, we need a question of the day.
Seth Jones is still here. Maybe he's the only one.
He's driving.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm stuck with these guys
for sure. He's like, I got nothing else. Anyway, join us next week. We'll be having the new Leaning House Honduran blend. And as always, you can catch us on patreon.com/the Cigar Junkies podcast. And our t-shirts are available at the Galaxy Boutique. Of course, the links are in the description of every episode. Find it at the bottom, or just directly message us if you're like Steve Newman and that doesn't work for you.
Salud.
See you next time.